Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Desmond Chumley, and today we're going to go over a real quick, brief weather analysis on today's event that should happen today. And I'm going to go over my thoughts on what I think is going to happen today. As we can see, there's two slight risk areas. One in Tennessee, the slight risk runs from all the way north Illinois, almost all the way down South Tennessee, and then we got another one over here in Nebraska, parts of Missouri, parts of Iowa, and so Nebraska area. Well, as we can see, the chances of tornadoes today is 5% given in these areas. So, well, I'm going to give a real quick analysis on what I think should happen today. On why I think that maybe Missouri and parts of Illinois might be the better chance for tornadoes than what the SPC guys have. Who knows? I could be totally wrong. These are just my predictions, and this is what I expect to happen. And then again, I could be right or I could be wrong, but I'm definitely thinking that Missouri / Illinois, and probably a little bit of Illinois will definitely have a chance, maybe even Kansas a little bit. But alright, let's get down into this prediction. So there's going to be two factors at play today. We have remnants of this tropical storm that's up in the inland, and then we have the shortwave trough right here. As we can see, there's a low that's already developed. So let's go forward. So we can see the low seems to be strengthening, and we have this other low from the remnants of that tropical storm in the area. Cristobal. I'm sorry, I had a hard time. As we can see, it looks like our shortwave trough on this side is strengthening because we can see the Vort Max is about right in here, and our low seems to be strengthening. As we go into evening, as we can see, it looks like our low is starting to become occluded. So, there's a occluded front starting to form with a cold front that looks maybe so we can see this cold front forming something like this, and we can see we have a big blob of vorticity over here. So we could probably suspect strengthening jet stream coming around the base of the trough, maybe. And this will definitely help with these storms that will probably fire up. So that's the reason why this SPC guys has got a slight risk up here in parts of well, let me show you. Nebraska, Kansas, and Missouri area. Definitely not out of the question. The reason why, so we will further look. We're going to look at the upper winds. So as we can see through the afternoon, we can see the strengthening lower and mid-level winds through the evening. And as we can see, it's coming around the base of the trough. This is about 0.6Z. So let's take it back a slide, and as we can see, that Missouri definitely had some good upper winds through this region right through here. So this is really good, but we can see our upper level jet is lagging behind a little bit, but not too much. So as we look, we can see the low level and the mid level strengthening as it comes around the base of the trough until we can see it coming all the way up, becoming vertically stacked. So it's probably going to turn into a quasi-linear system anytime you have this kind of happen. But anyways, so now we're going to look at our weather fronts and see if I was right or wrong about the occluded front forming. Okay, so here's our front. As we can see, here's our Cristobola with a warm front. Here's our this is our low that's down here with the Vortex coming around. We're still waiting on that. Tuesday this evening, so we do have some sort of occluded front that does form. And here's our trailing cold front coming from this upper storm. And as we can see, the occluded front does come through this region. So we can probably suspect maybe an increase of helicity through this area because of the winds. Upper winds are coming up this way. Maybe our lower winds will come around. But we will see. We also saw that the low-level winds will strengthen through this region right in here. So this is 0.6, and we can see our occluded front is starting to take a nice form. All right, so we have confirmed the occluded front is going to form. We have a strengthening low, and we got vorticity strengthening the low-level jet and mid-level jet strengthening through this region right in here, through the Missouri area. I know the SPC guys only got a marginal risk, but like I said, these are just my predictions, and this is what I think, and I'll probably go live because this event's supposed to happen about 7 o'clock my time, 00Z, so I'll probably go live and see if I nailed it or missed it. I won't be afraid to say I missed it. I mean, if I missed it, I missed it. So next, we're going to go look at NextLab. We're going to go look at the, let's look at the NAM first. So, first things first, let's look at our simulated reflectivity. So here's the remnants of Cristobola moving north. And then we can see these line of storms are going to develop at 00C. So this is when that low-level jet and this mid-level jet starts coming around the base of this trough and strengthening. So anytime you have a jet coming around the base like that, usually storms do like to fire up within that region. So this, see if we got the right time. So this is about 00Z, and we look at here 00C, so we can see this strong jet stream coming around the base of this low right here. So we can sometimes have storms to fire up in here because usually when this is the front end of the jet, so we can have more convergence through this region. Also stronger divergence within this region too. So we can also see that we can't exclude Illinois. So this region right in here is definitely a region I'm going to be watching with this afternoon event. Can't take out Nebraska quite yet, but let's continue breaking this down. Next, we're going to look at our surface-based CAPE, see if there's going to be any convective inhibition through this afternoon. So as we can see, 21.0Z, so there is a time period where everything is unstable through this region. Now, as we see, it looks like some things are starting to become stable, but noticing convective inhibition is really not that strong through this region, only like -30. So that's somewhat weak. So maybe these storms can work through this region. And as we continue into the afternoon, so the convective inhibition really doesn't get above -100. So that's pretty good. Now we're going to mix everything up. This is once the parcels rise up, how much energy is left for these storms. As you can see, not as much convective inhibition with this. And we still got this nice, narrow band of Cape coming through Illinois and Missouri, right through in here. So, the next thing we're going to look at, we'll see how our dew points do through this evening. So as we can see, there's a plume of dew points that comes around this region, being 74, 75. So definitely higher than the last couple events. Theta E, how much? So we can see there's going to be plenty of theta E through this region. In case you don't know what theta E is, here you go. You can pause it and read about it and look it up. Okay. So next, we're going to go over let's see how our helicity does through this region. So here we are at 21Z. So we can see an increase of helicity through the evening. Definitely over here in parts of Illinois, so right in here. And we can also see this little narrow band of strong helicity through this region right in here. So definitely right in through here. 06. This is when those storms initiate right through this region right in here. So definitely some good low levels, and we'll see how our upper levels helicity, as we can see this narrow band right in through here, right 0Z, there we go. So we can see this narrow band of strong helicity through this region. Alright, now let's go with our 1 kilometer energy helicity. We can probably suspect an increase within this region because of the Cape and the energy helicity pluming through this area. So 00Z and 03Z, so we can see that there is an increase in energy helicity through this area in the lower levels. We can definitely suspect this for the upper levels, and we can see that right in here. I don't want to take out the southern portion because this is when our higher, lower, and mid-level winds overlap through this southeast portion of Missouri. But according to this, it's 0, so I guess it's, let's see. I don't know. Could be wrong. But we're definitely keeping an eye on this upper region right in through here. So that's the HRRR. Next we're going to look at, I'm at HRRR. What am I thinking? Now we're going to look at the supercell composite. So we can see that at the 00Z, we can see this narrow band right through here. We don't have to click the highest point, but we'll have a general idea what's happening. So as we can see, our autograph is fairly straight, which is okay. And as we can also see, our LCL height is pretty low, also with our LSC height. And we can see that there's going to be a pretty good amount of Cape through this region, but we can confirm that. So we can see mixed layer about 3,000, surface about being 4,000. Our surface 1 kilometer is fairly okay. I mean, it's only 90. Surface 3, pretty good. Effective shear is pretty modest. And as we can see, our little effective layer of STP with convective inhibition included goes up to about EF2 to low end EF3. So probably suspect brief, weak spin-up tornadoes through this region. As we can see, our lapse rates are pretty modest. We also got this elevated mix layers, so this mixing layer, just dry mixing layer right through here. So this definitely could help with K potential and lapse rates. So that's through the Missouri area. And if we look at Illinois, I suspect better, or at least, because it definitely looks like Illinois, but I'm just talking about Missouri because Missouri only has like a marginal risk. But as we can see, we got a nice curvature photograph here. Our low level winds do get up to about 30, let's just say 36 or something like that. And we got a nice curvature, so all this relative velocity these storms can feed in. These storms can suck up. As we can see, our surface 1 kilometer is a lot better through this region, about 205. Our effective inflow is really good. So we'll definitely have to be in. And as we can see, we're above an EF3 to a very low chance of EF4. So I was probably suspect more of an EF3 through this region. As we can see, we got some modest lapse rates through this region. So definitely something to watch over here in Illinois. As the evening continues, we can still probably so here's that lower region I was talking about. So maybe some severe. This is when that upper level jet should be coming around the base of the low, strengthen. But as we can see, it looks like we got some sort of cap, and that's why our LLC heights are really high. If we can bring this lower, there'll be a better chance. So we can see that some a little kind of warm, so that definitely limits the tornado threat, like big time through that region. But as we can see, so we can suspect maybe tornadoes through Illinois, but my main attention was with this portion right through here. Now we'll see how what the RAP says about the Missouri area. See if we have a general idea what this reflectivity will there be. So it looks like the RAP does show some sort of little slither band of storms, even though the NAM's got a little south, but it gives us a general idea that something's going to form within this region right in here by like 04, so about 7 o'clock my region. So so we can see this narrow tongue, but it looks like according to the NAM, it looks like everything becomes stable a little bit stronger. As we can see, it looks like the NAM is showing a little bit stronger compared to the vision, but not too strong. Maybe these storms could work through there. As we can see, this lower region right in here. That's what I keep talking about when this upper level jet should be coming around the base of the low. So as we can see, we still get that, but it brings the LCL heights a little further down, but still based on the STP fixed layer, it says nothing. But very interesting that that's gonna happen. But anyways, so what's this curiosity? So it looks like we got some sort of inflection happening here. So you have the photograph curves back and then back around. Usually that's not what you really want to see, but tornadoes are still possible. Everything looks pretty modest. And as we can see, everything goes up to about EF2, so weak tornadoes. But as we can probably suspect for the Illinois area, I don't know, let's say about right in here. So the Illinois area is definitely looking very promising, but I was just my whole point of this video was talking about Missouri, because Missouri, I think they might expand either a slight risk. They might expand a slight risk through this region later this afternoon. There's definitely something to look out for. Watch out. So, see what happens with the mixed layer cake. Oh wait, that doesn't show convective inhibition, so it'll be all right. So we'll see what it does with the 1 kilometer winds. As we can see, the wrap shows a little bit more helicity for the 0-1 kilometers through this region right in here. If we look at it 0-3, probably suspect a lot, so we can see a lot more. So we can probably suspect our energy helicity still pluming through this area right through here, as we see. So even a darker red through here. If we look at it, probably even higher. So about the same. So if we look at our supercell composite, we can see got this narrow band. So this even shows even higher. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens through this region. For sure. I'm definitely thinking Missouri, probably this like portion of Missouri somewhere around in here. Probably, definitely Illinois. I'm definitely not taking this region right through here because this is when that upper level jet should come through. So this region down here definitely has a chance. For maybe a brief spin up. All of this could be very brief. I don't see anything that's screaming like long track tornadoes or very violent tornadoes. Probably everything's going to be very brief or at least modest. But we will definitely see through the evening. Can't definitely say yes or no to just there's a chance of tornadoes. There's definitely is a chance of tornadoes, but it's not the greatest. So as we can see about 0-2, so we can see this band storm starting to form through this region right in here. And then we can see down here. So it'll be definitely interesting to see what happens. If we look at the objectivity according to this, so it shows a pretty good signature. I wonder if it's going to be elevated. So we have a little bit, but nothing screaming like major violent tornadoes. Just looks like maybe at least a brief spin up here and there, maybe. So definitely interesting. Let's see what the supercell composite says. So as we can see, it keeps it pretty modest, pretty okay. So definitely through this region right in here, it's definitely a region to watch. Definitely, Missouri's might see 1 or 2, maybe brief tornadoes, maybe. See what the HRR does with the Cape. So it shows some convective. How strong is it? 89. So it shows a little bit stronger convective inhibition to this region, a little bit. So it would definitely be interesting to watch. I'll definitely plan on going live later this evening to see what goes down and how I missed or what can I do better for my next prediction. But I'm saying this little air corridor right through here could definitely see something later this evening. And probably even down here. As we can see, that's where that 5% chance risk is. It makes sense because that's when the upper level trough and the low level and the mid level all kind of overlaps through this region right in here, as we can see with this. So about right here. So this is it's going to be on the south end of the jet. Usually this is where you can have convergence and storms initiate through this region right in here. And where the storms are going to form in Missouri later this afternoon is going to be at the front end of this jet max. So usually when that happens, usually there is a severe chance that could happen. But until then, this is my thoughts, this is my prediction, this is what I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, I could be right, but I will definitely see by this afternoon if I'm right or wrong. But until then, I hope everyone has a good day and keep your eyes on the sky.